Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Calzray, and today we're going to be talking about Kano's commando variation in Mortal Kombat X. Now, before we begin the video, I just want to give a quick shout out to MK Rio. He's the one who gave me inspiration for this video, and his channel link will be in the description down below. Now, Kano's commando variation was bottom 10 in Mortal Kombat X in a pool of 100 variations, but he still had some options that made him stand out from other characters. And we're going to start by looking at his command grabs. He had two command grabs. His first command grab was the Rip Strike, his down, back, forward 4, and it did 16% damage. And his second grab was his Power Slam, which was his down, forward, back 4, and it was a side switching 17% damage command grab. And out of these two command grabs, he could do what is called a tick throw. A tick throw is when you do an attack and you cancel into a command grab to prevent the opponent from blocking too much. So if I could do my down 4 into a command grab, down 3 into a command grab, down 1 into a command grab, and back 1 into a command grab. Commando could also do his forward 3-3 chain into a command grab, and finally his jumping kick. He could cancel it into a command grab, so he had a lot of tick throw options. Now, one way the opponent could dodge the tick throw and get a punish is by jumping. So if we set the opponent to jump, we could see that this time if I try to do my tick throw, he jumps right out of the command grab and he can get a neutral jump punch punish because my command grab have so much recovery. My Rib Strike has 44 frames of recovery and my Power Slam has 48 frames of recovery. But luckily, Kano had another grab called the Choke. His down forward one was a 10 frame -4 on block blockable grab. So if you hit the tick throw and he ended up blocking, you would be safe. But if he ended up jumping, you could catch him right out of the air with his amazing anti-air hitbox. So this choke move was his main anti-air tool. Now, what if the character tries to armor? So if we set the opponent to do a reversal, we could see that if I do my choke, it doesn't work. And if I do my command grab, it also doesn't work. So Kano had not one, but two parries. He had his high counter, which was a 4 frames of startup parry, and it covered mids, highs, and overheads. And he had his low counter for lows, which was 4 frames of startup. And one thing about the low parry was that if we put the opponent to do a fireball as a reversal, we could see that Kano could use his low parry to build meter and duck under projectiles. So it was pretty useful at that. Now, about the high counter. If we go back to our situation and we set the opponent to do a Dragon's Wrath, we could see that when we do the parry, it actually catches him for 17% damage. So he wastes 1 bar and I get the damage. Now, this could also be used on opponents that wake up. So if we set the opponent to wake up instead of reversal with a Dragon's Wrath, we could see that if we try to do the down 3 into a parry, sorry, if we try to do the down 3 into a parry, we can see that it catches them on wake up. Now, what if we do gaps? Kano had a string, his villainous string, his 1-1-2 string, which had a gap in it. Now, the parry could be used in gaps to take care of an opponent who tries to go through them. So if I do my string, we can see that he could easily armor through it. But if I cancel the last hit with a parry, once again, he wastes 1 bar and I get the damage. Now, you could also use parries in your opponent's gaps. So if we set the controlling player to 2, we could see that Liu Kang had a string called Windmill Punch, which could be cancelled. The last hit could be cancelled into a Dragon's Wrath. So Dragon's Wrath was a mid, and it was -2 on block. So if you blocked it, you couldn't do anything to punish Liu Kang. But if we did the parry in the gap, we could see that it actually hurts him. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about Kano's back one. Kano's back one was his elbow spike. It was a 9-frame mid that could anti-air the opponent. So if you caught the opponent jumping, you would be able to get an easy combo. And you could use the back one not only for jumping, but you could use it to do your tick throw command grab, and you could also use it to, you could extend the back one into his delinquent string. So Kano's delinquent string was his back 1-3. It was a true block string, and if the opponent blocked it, you would be -2. So it was very good. And if you caught the opponent getting hit by the kick because he thinks you're going to command grab, you could then end this into his throw input, and you could do the miss me string, which was his back 1-3, 1+3. And this was -12 on block. And if the opponent got hit because he wasn't blocking, you would then do this grab. And this grab could be EX'd, and if you EX it right before the opponent lands, you get a launcher. And you get a full combo. Now, one thing the opponent would do frequently is that he, after you launch him and you waste 1 bar, he would then use Breaker to prevent you from getting damage. Now, one thing you could do against this is that instead of doing the grab at the end, you would do his knife toss. So down forward 2, instead of doing the grab at the end, would give you a reset. And out of that reset, you could do another command grab. You could do a back one into a command grab, or you could keep doing the string until the opponent starts blocking, in which case you do a command grab. You would do it once or twice just to make the opponent block, and then you would do the command grab and you would get crazy amounts of damage. Now, we've seen what you could do with this string if it hits, but what if it's blocked? So if the opponent blocks your delinquent string and you don't think he's gonna retaliate, you could buffer a command grab, or you could continue doing your back 1-3 string until the opponent eventually stops blocking and you get the grab launcher. But in most cases, the opponent, since you're -2 on block with this last hit, they're gonna try to throw you. So Kanos, if that happened, would do a high counter, so a parry, or if they did not want to guess if they had to do a high or a low parry, or if the opponent was going to do a high or a low attack, they would do their EX command grab, which granted them 2 hits of armor, or they would also do their EX choke if they thought the opponent might also jump, because that would catch him on a jump. Now, one other thing that I want to mention with the EX command grab is that if the opponent does not block and you do the EX command grab after a back 1, it would hit. And usually when you do command grabs after you hit someone, they would always miss. But with the EX command grab, they would hit after his 1-1-2 string, after his back 3 string, and after his forward 3-3 string. So you had damage options that way. One last thing that I want to touch on is Commando's Insta-Air Kano Ball. So his air ball was 2 frames of startup, and it also was an overhead. So that means that you could mix up your opponent. You could do his lows, you could do his overhead, his down 1 pokes into a command grab. You could mix the opponent up in whichever way you wanted. And one other thing that Kano had was with his air ball, if we set the opponent to do a gunshot as a reversal, he had a low if the Insta-Air Kano Ball did not hit the opponent. So he had a low, but you see that the opponent, after I do my Kano ball, after he does his single shot, can block my low. So the thing that Kano could do in that case is if he EX'd his air ball, he got another move that we're going to look at. And this move was yet another command grab that was unblockable. So this could be used, this overhead insta-air Kano ball that was 2 frames could also be used as an anti-projectile move. So we've seen that Kano had command grabs, anti-air grabs, grabs that could launch, grabs that could be done after an air attack. He had 2 parries, he had overheads, he had lows. He was the most complete grappler in MKX, in my opinion. And yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoy content like this, and if you do, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you later. Bye.